Okay, and we're live. Hello, and welcome to another fursuit making stream. Hello, creatures wild. How are you doing today? I'm doing exactly what I did yesterday. No, I'm continuing where I left off. That was a sentence I was trying to say. I'm doing good. How about you? I'm also doing good. I don't know why and I don't know how, but I feel like I slept really well. Also, you can see my mess today. I'm not sure if that's that great. Hello, Black Fox. Your name is entirely too long and I'm not going to read out the entire thing. How are you doing today? Let me get some of my mess away from on screen. At least some of it. So the first thing I wanted to do today is finally stitch down the lower jaw. I just spent $29.97 on 4 Warrior Cats plushies and I got 2 doubles. Like mystery boxes. But also that sounds like fun. Are you mad that you got doubles? Or did you get doubles on purpose and it's not mystery boxes? Either way, plushies are very fun. Yeah, mystery plushies. Okay, yeah. I mean, if you don't want doubles, maybe you can gift it to some friends or something. I don't think I've ever really opened a mystery box. Am I missing out? Is it fun? Where's my thread? Where is anything in my workshop? Sometimes I ask myself that. Ah, here it is. I wanted to get a really dark red in the same color as this gums material. Sure if I should call it that. I guess. I know that there is a bit of a craze about mystery boxes. Are Labubus still in, or have we finally lost our obsession as humanity with Labubus? To be honest, I love Warrior Cats plushies, so they look cutely stupid. I mean, that's great. I would ask you what characters you got, but I remember 2 characters from Warrior Cats, and that's entirely all of it. I also am not really on top anymore of how many Warrior Cats books there are. I feel like when I was young, they were like 7, which is probably too little. I guess even when I was young, there must have been more than 7. But yeah, I've entirely lost track of Warrior Cats a long time ago. There's over 100 now and more coming out. Oh, that's crazy. That's, how does anyone keep track with that? I think I was like stopped being interested once the protagonist of the first book that I read was no longer really in existence, because you can only write so and so many books about one character. Um, I'm not sure like the which is the first part if I read the actual canonically first part of the book series. If there's so many, I guess I would have. And I like the protagonist a lot. And these are like the two characters where I remember the protagonist of that first book. And then I remember he had, I believe, a cousin. And his cousin was a pet. And his cousin was entirely uninterested in living in the woods. He tried to get his cousin to live there. His cousin was like, nah, I wanna stay with these humans. They're actually pretty nice. And I related to that cat very much. And these are kind of the two characters that I remember. Not that I remember their names. Questions. Do you not care about spoilers on Warrior Cats? No, I don't care. It's been so long since I read it. I'm pretty sure if I really talked about it, maybe it would come back, or some of it would come back. But for the most part, I don't intend on rereading the series. So if there's anything you want to tell me, just tell me. The boo-boos are dead now. Start out. Yeah, I assumed the boo-boos were kind of dead. I guess they've been replaced to some extent by Nidos, which are much more dangerous than the boo-boos, I recently learned. I found that very fascinating. Wouldn't have guessed that a toy would be that dangerous, but okay. In the last stop of the, there's a train outside. Can you guys hear that? It's really loud. I've opened the window because it's such a nice day, but we'll have to live with some training. In the last stop of the fourth apprentice, he dies to protect the forest from Tigerstar. Okay, yeah, I was sure that he wasn't around anymore. I don't think I read that far. Did I read that far? I don't remember. It's been so long ago, and I don't think I have any of the Warrior Cats books still around. Like, I'm old enough where ebooks weren't that much of a thing yet when I was young, and so I had the Warrior Cats books as actual print. At least the like first few. I knew like half the lore before I read the books. Oh, that's also interesting. Yeah, that happens more and more with the internet and stuff, where you know about things without consuming the actual things. But also, I feel like at this point we discover, or at least I discover media through the strangest of ways. There's some stuff that I've discovered purely through like fan songs. Like you hear some weird fan song about it first, and then you realize, oh, this is a song for a show. Oh, maybe I should watch the show. But also, isn't that also the reason you get into the books? I mean, yeah, I guess if you learn about the books and the lore beforehand, and then you read the books, that works. It's just not what happened with me. I got into the books before I got onto the internet. Like Warrior Cats is what my dad read to me when I was a really young child. I'm not sure why my parents decided, let's read this child warrior cat. But I was really young. And then we switched to another book series when I guess we felt like I grew out of warrior cats, which is a bit silly because I don't think anyone really grows out of warrior cats. Like, you can read that if you're older. Hi, am I late? Oh no, you're not late. I started like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I'm really irregular with my streams. I wanted to start a bit earlier, and then my dad asked me if I could carry a big metal thing with him, so I did that for a while. OMG hi, yeah, OMG hi back to you. How are you doing? So, yesterday I sat down and I watched a tutorial on the Hansen stitch. I've been procrastinating on that for a long while because someone told me, oh, the Hansen stitch is so much more complicated than the ladder stitch. I mean, whoever told that to me is an idiot. It's not more complicated, it's a very slight variation. So today, for the very first time, I'm trying my hand at doing the Hansen stitch in the hopes that it will look a bit nicer down here. I'm just not entirely sure if I'm like any good at the Hansen stitch. We'll see. But it didn't seem that hard, to be honest. I should have tried it on something else before jumping straight onto a fursuit head and doing a stitch I've never done before on a fursuit head. But I'm that flavor of idiot. Also, there's glue here. It's much harder to pull than I hoped it would be. How was your birthday yesterday? Oh, it was, I mean, good. I'm not the type of person who celebrates. So it was more of a, my parents gave me some gifts, and then I sat down and chilled and relaxed. I think today will be much more exciting. There's a Ren fair right next to my house this weekend. Really right next to my house. I like, if I lived one house over, I would be living basically on Ren fair territory. And we got some free tickets because we live so close. So I will be checking out a Ren fair, which will be much more exciting than, you know, my birthday. Hey Sony Dragons, how you doing today? Ebooks are not the best when it comes to having a copy of a book. Yeah, ebooks can just be like, at this point, they can just be changed or taken away. Having physical copies of books is nice. It's also expensive. That's cool. Yeah. I was thinking of maybe, if I get to it, fursuiting at the Ren Fair. But only if I can like pull together a vaguely medieval outfit, which will be hard. But also my, like, the selection of fursuits I have that I could wear, one of them is purple and looks loosely Egyptian, and one of them is blue. And the third one is really old, but it has a star on its eye with this, which is like vaguely jester-like. So I'm thinking I could wear that one. I'm doing new plans because my brother destroyed them. Oh no! That is kind of evil of him. Why would he do that? Happy birthday, Kurt William. Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel like this stitch is really not different from a ladder stitch. And I'm not sure if it's giving us a different result than a lattice stitch, which is unfortunate. I have to go on vacation. Bye and good luck. Thank you. Have a great vacation. Is your birthday? Happy birthday. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. But thank you very much either way. I'm not huge on celebrating, so it was a very relaxed day. Didn't do much. Didn't do anything special, actually. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. I feel like you guys can't see in any way what I'm even doing here because of the angle, but the head won't stay upright. I apologize for that. Yeah, maybe the stitch is actually slightly different, slightly better. Hey, S8K, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I finished my dino mask and the wings now. I'm working to paint the tail and I'm doing now paws. Nice. I feel like you're very quick. Weren't you working on the wings just yesterday? Hey, Katrin Ilse. How you doing? I really want to see my girlfriend. We haven't seen each other since May. Oh, that's a long time. Do you get to see her soon? Ooh, looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I've been procrastinating on my current project, this tiger, on printing the ears. I'm hoping to print those over the weekend, and then we're almost done with the project, which is crazy. I'm also working on the fursuit right now. That's very nice. I always love it when people, work on fursuits while I'm working on the fursuit. It feels like a fun co-working space. What kind of fursuit are you working on? A cat, a dog, toony, realistic, colorful? Tell me about your fun projects. It's a toony dino cat hybrid. Very nice. I think yesterday we talked about like a cat dragon hybrid. I've seen so many more dog something else hybrids. It seems like cat hybrids are really on the rise. But sounds very fun. Fingers crossed for my nan allow her to come to my house. But the only downside is that she's moving soon. Oh, okay. Then I wish you good luck that everything works out. I worked on it for like 3 to 4 days. In 3 to 4 days, I finished to paint the dino mask, the wings, and I made the tail. Now I'm working on paws. My first suit is a water dragon cat with paws. That's also cute. Another dragon. Dragons are so cute. Help! My sister is trying to steal my hot glue for her first suit. Help me. I mean, can you share? I feel like, you know, supporting people in making fursuits is a good thing. Maybe I'm biased on that, since I make fursuits. I want to use my hot glue for making a siren. Can't you work together? But yeah, it's an actual siren. I don't. What is an actual siren? What is an inactual siren? Hey, Void like Zard, how are you doing today? Like a tornado siren. Okay. Hello, Kai Trash Bench. Welcome to the stream. What type of animal is it going to be? This is a tiger. It doesn't have ears yet. I think the ears are going to help a lot in making it look more like a tiger. But I think, like, especially these markings, I felt kind of proud of because they're very tiger. I was also thinking of maybe airbrushing this thing to give it a bit more depth, but I think that would be overdoing it. It does look like a tiger. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the ears. Like, once the ears are on, I'm relatively certain that people are going to realize it's a tiger. For now, it's still a challenge to figure out what's going on. I'm now in the fursuit community and I can't get the material for a full suit, but I have the materials to make head, wings, tail, and paws. My two fursuits are a bit different because I don't use fur. I would love to see them, honestly. Like, that sounds really fun. If you want to show off your creations, I'd be happy to see them. Always love it when people get creative with fursuits. Her tail for her fursuit fell off, and now she's getting my sewing machine. Should I let her? I mean, in my opinion, yes, unless you're afraid she'd like damage it. But why would you not give her your sewing machine? I mean, she'll give it back, right? Where do you get high quality fur in Germany? Because I want to make my own fursuit, but I can't find good quality fur. You can, I mean, I can give you a name, but you can also go to my channel and check out my tutorial video. I have a tutorial video on how to make kick-style fursuits, and even if you want to make non-kick-style fursuits like toonie or whatever else, I have a list in my tutorial for materials and tools in Germany, specifically because I'm German. But I buy my fur at Stoffhummel. Both the Big Z Fabrics fur that she sells and her own fur is pretty good. Your working place kind of looks like the one from a dragon puppeteer called Cyndia. Interesting. don't know anything about that, I'll write it down. I always say I'll write something down, and then I need to actually check those things. But yeah, this is my workshop, my workplace. This is my job. At least part of it. I have 2 rooms here, and I realized I have an abundance of tables, and I feel like I still don't have enough tables. I don't think I ever have enough tables. I wish I had money because I would give it to you. That's very sweet, but also don't worry about it. If you don't have money, that's totally fine. I'm happy if you guys just chat with me. Do you sell fursuits? Yes, I do sell fursuits. I do commissions and pre-mades. So this is a pre-made actually. Oh, where? On my website. I wanted to put it in the description for the stream and then I forgot, but it's linked to my YouTube. Or you can just Google Creatorium, it should show up, theoretically. Especially if you add the word fursuits. Also at conventions, like if you want to get a suit of mine and you're at a convention that I'm at, can pick it up in person. This mask looks so cool. They're for euros or dollar. I'm from Germany, so everything is euro. Can I ask in German if I don't know the English word? Yes, you can. I might translate it to English myself if I know the word. Oh, is that a computer right there? Like there? This is my laptop. I want to use fur, but I don't have money. I'm using my mother's blankets because she supports me and buy me things like dino masks. Yeah, don't worry about it. Like if you're happy with your creations, whether they have fur or not, you're happy with your creations, and that's good. Do you ship your fursuits? Yes. I ship. Well, currently, like this week, I can ship to almost everywhere besides the US. Beginning of the next week or the week after, I will not be able to ship to European countries besides Germany because there's new rules and regulations within the EU, and shipping will become an absolute nightmare. And I will need some time to figure out where I can ship. If you are really interested in purchasing a suit from me and you're from another European country, please reach out so that I can specifically check if I can ship to you. Wie lange hat es gedauert, bis du so gut geworden bist? Or in English, how long did it take until you became so good? So I started making fursuits in 2017, and by 2023 I was good enough to make this a business. But, and I want you to keep that in mind, I started learning the sewing machine when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I've always been crafting, I've always been making stuff, and I decided to go to school for costume design, where I learned how to design costumes and stages for theater. And then I decided to follow that up with an apprenticeship in a workshop for props, puppets, and other like advertising prop stuff and theater work. And so I just have a lot of practice. If you have like a full-time job or if you're going to school, you're not going to learn as quickly as I did because my full-time job was making stuff. So don't compare, but that's how long it took me. Hey, I just subscribed for you because this is amazing work. Thank you very much. That's so kind. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, so you are a professional. I'm trying to be a professional as much as I can, I'm gonna say. I guess it also depends on your definition for what professional is, but yeah. If you think you need, like, to be a professional, you need to, do this for a living and have a degree in an adjacent area, I'm very much a professional. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I feel my work is not quite up to that yet, but I'm definitely trying to get there. My sister's fursuit looks like a corgi with glasses and a nose ring. That's really cute. I love fursuit glasses. I think they are absolutely adorable. I'm making a fursuit right now that has glasses, and I'm really looking forward to getting that to look really good. Hey, I'm going to go bye. Hope this turns out great. Thank you. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day. Oh, shit. My thread just ripped. That was not very professional of me. But I think I can fix it. I've been looking at some faux fur. I mean, cool. I'm not sure what you want me to do with that. Okay. I want to learn how to make fursuits for a living or art, but I'm currently homeschooled and I can't cope in normal school. I don't know what to do. I don't understand the connection between making fursuits and being homeschooled. Like, it's not like you're gonna learn to make fursuits in school. You can just learn it if you really want to. Like, I went to art school in order to improve my fursuits. You don't have to. Most fursuit makers are self-taught. There's a select few who have an education in sewing, or even fewer who have an education in, like me, in costume design. You don't have to go for that. One question for all. Have you ever seen a lizard fursuit? I like crocodiles, which are big lizards, I guess. But not small lizards. Never small lizards. It's like a really underrated species. Yeah, seems to be. Also, lizards can be really colorful. So I think it would be fun to be a lizard as well. Though I guess anything can be colorful. My tiger is also colorful. I like building things and 3D printing stuff for my sister and me. Very relatable. I also like building things and 3D printing stuff. I've seen a gummy goo fursuit, but not a lizard. Oh, I know who made that potentially. Like Mugiwara Cosplay made one, didn't they? Of that character. I mean, there might be more, but I've definitely seen the video of Mugiwara Cosplay. I'm currently in school and I'm in the lucky position of owning two 3D printers and I've printed my head base and I don't understand how to do the upclaim with duct tape. um, upclaim would be taping, just which is pretty simple. So you just, I mean, I can't just say you just tape, but you just tape. I don't like using duct tape, honestly. I go for painter's tape, the good one from Tesa. Like, you need a good brand of painter's tape. and you just paint over half of it. Make sure that the tape overlaps nicely. I know a lot of people who do one layer and then a second layer just to be sure. I don't, because I'm lazy and I like to optimize my process. But you tape half of it, unless your markings are not symmetrical, then you paint the entire tape the entire thing, and you just you make sure to really get into, like, make sure it lies nice and flat. Oh my gosh, words. Any other tips? I guess go slow. And if you feel like it's very bumpy, like, rip it off and do it again. There's no harm and no shame in trying twice. I'm glitching. Okay, I'm sorry guys about the glitching. YouTube is telling me my connection is very good, so I'm not entirely sure why I'm glitching. It's definitely my internet. Like, I'm trying to stream, my internet is not super great. There's nothing I can do about it, sadly, because I live in, like, in Germany, internet is shitty as hell. So it's definitely a me problem. We're gonna hope it'll go away in a second. But yeah, not much I can do about it, sadly. I can only apologize. Reveal is a fursuit now from Rain World game. Oh. I don't know the game and I don't know the character. Am I missing out? I don't know if this has been mentioned before, but where do you get the materials? So, if you want to know where I got my materials, I have a YouTube video about that. So you can check out my cake tutorial series part 1, which is entirely tools and materials, and it has a link to a Google Drive with a list with links, there you can see actually everything I use, pretty much. It's specifically for Kickstyle fursuits, but normal fursuits actually have less material than Kickstyle fursuits, so you will see everything you need for a fursuit in there. Besides actually, like, 3D printing stuff. Could make a new video about that. I have a cake kimono mask hat. That's cool. Me too, kind of. It's a pre-made that never sold. And it's just kind of, I mean, I have two here. I have one that looks like Hatsune Miku, and I was so sure that people would like it and it would sell, and it did not. It was so sad. Internet in Germany is shitty is my new life motto. No, it's also a shame. Like, we've been getting Glasfaser. Don't know what that is in English, but it's, you know, a better internet connection, and it's been promised to you to us like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they like walked around the city and rang every doorbell and said, "Hey, you're gonna get better internet in the near future. You can now get a contract for that, and as soon as the internet is, like, the lines are laid, you will get better internet." And we were like, "Great, when?" And they said, "Soon." And you know, it didn't happen. Internet ist für uns alle Neuland was Internet is new for one of us, was a motto of a German politician, if I'm not fully wrong. Yeah, it is. I mean, it used to be, but that was when I was like a teenager, so over 10 years ago. At this point, about 10 years ago is when she said that. Which was, at that point, it was funny. It turned into such a meme. A lot of about her turned into a bit of a meme. Like the position of her hands is like so funny. Like when you do that, you will get some kind of meme sentence back that this politician said at some point. Fiber internet or fiber optic? Yeah, could be, I guess. I just discovered your channel. What's the name of the fursuit you're making? No, what's the name of your fursuit making? I'm just going to answer those questions. So the fursuit I'm working on is a pre-made, and I don't give pre-mades proper names so that the person who ends up adopting the fursuit can do that. So this one is Strawberry Bubble Tea, because that's not a name, that's more of a working title or a descriptor. Das merke ich mir. Wonderful. Wonderful sentence. Maybe I have to remember that one. My dad is really good at like mimicking tone. And so when I do this in front of him for whatever reason, he always says, "Wir schaffen das." But in like exactly how she says it, I cannot. I don't know how he does it. Like I cannot repeat that. Just, it's been years since they promised it, and I'm like, at some point you have to do something. Like you have to own up to your promise. Do you go to furry conventions often? No, not at all, sadly. So I don't really go to conventions unless I get a table in the artist alley or the dealer's den, or I have another reason to be there, because I don't really have friends to hang out with, and going to conventions alone is kind of boring. And this year I was rejected from Eurofurence and East, which were the only two that I applied to in terms of furry conventions. I'd honestly name it Strawberry Milkshake. Yeah, milkshake is also fitting. The reason why it's bubble tea is because this used to be a fox design that had a lot of dots. And then I decided to change it to a tiger and the dots disappeared, but the dots were the reason for bubble tea. But also, to get back to conventions, I go to much more like anime conventions than furry conventions. I'm currently preparing for an anime convention. That is in about a month, that I will have a table at and sell stuff at. Also, this one seam is taking me ages. I've been doing this for like 30 minutes. I'd name it Berry. Berry is also really cute. Yeah, I mean, if you end up getting it, you can name it whatever you want to. Though sometimes this backfires. Like, I sold a pre-made under the name of Cat because it was a cat, and I later on saw the fursuit again, and they had a badge, and it was just Cat. Like the fursuit is actually called Cat now. I was like, that's amazing. I have a question. My mom is kind of homophobic. Should I come after her at a pride parade we will be going tomorrow? That's a question that I can't answer. I don't know you, and I don't know your mom. I don't know. Do you think it would be safe? I mean, is she going to a pride parade with you? Because it feels like she can't be that homophobic if she's going to a pride parade. Maybe that's just me. But at the end of the day, it's like a serious question, and basically up to you to decide. What's your favorite anime? one I keep returning to is The Irregular at Magic High School. I really love that one. It's so nerdy and kind of weird, and there's kind of their magic is more like programming and technology, and I love that. If we look over the fact that the protagonist's sister most definitely has a crush on him, that's weird, and we're just not going to talk about it. He doesn't reciprocate, so it's fine. I also am going to out myself, and I'm going to say I do like Sword Art Online. I loved it when it came out so much, and I've gone back to it a few times, and there's some parts of it that I just skip over because they're so painfully boring, oh my gosh, but there's some parts of it that I really love. The first half of a first season and the first half of a second season, amazing. Love it. What are some furry species you may eat? A lot of foxes, ridiculously amount of foxes, some cats, a bat, a sergal, a noctarian, which is like a really small original species, an otter angel dragon. That one was fun. Never watched this. Is it on Netflix? Irregular at Magic High School used to be on German Netflix. I don't know if it's still up. I also think it's like the voice acting is decent. There are some animes where the voice acting in German is horrendous. That one is actually pretty good. I like watching anime with subtitles, but sometimes I'm just not in the mood for subtitles. And so I, go for ones that are good. I really, 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 really loved Clannad when I was a teenager. I watched the entirety of that. I inhaled it. And I never watched it again because I was so afraid that it was the type of thing that I only loved as a teenager, where I would look back and I would hate it and I wouldn't understand why I loved it so much anymore. So I have the entirety of Clannad on Blu-ray, the deluxe edition that came with like plushies and keychains and stuff like that. It's all there. I just never touch it. It's just a memory. What's your favorite romance trope? For example, Yandere. Hard question. I like a lot of romance books. I read predominantly romances. I think, as cheesy as it is, I like this idea of mutual pining, where the characters are in love with each other. They just don't realize they're both being absolute idiots about it. I love that one. What fursuit ideas are your favorites? I'm not sure if I know what that means. What's the fursuit idea? Like design concepts? It looks like a kimono tiger. It's not kimono, it's most definitely, I think this is very solidly toony with how big the snout is. I think the kimono might come from like this symbol because that's a Chinese sign. But I have made kimono style fursuits before. I also have some head bases that I call semi kimono. I'm not forcing you, maybe this is just an idea, but I'd like it if you do a lynx-based fursuit. I am making a lynx-based fursuit currently, actually. One of my current commissions is a lynx fox hybrid, but the head is basically just lynx. The fox is coming through and some other stuff. I don't have the head base printed, but I can still show it to you, maybe? Yeah, I can show it to you. You just have to give me a second to get my tablet. Because I modeled the head base, I just haven't printed it yet. So this is Raflux, so a fox lynx hybrid, but again mostly a lynx head. He didn't like the cheek fluff, so we're gonna see if I keep that or if I make changes to that. And he didn't like the ear shape, but for the most part, hey AM15 Craft, how you doing? Beautiful, wow, looks so cool. Oh, you guys so cute. Thank you. Thank you very much, you guys. Me love the fursuit. Thank you. Yeah, like my Lynx commission is also quite complicated, I'd say. I love murder drones so much, but I have kind of a dislike on episode 4. Makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what murder drones is. I think I'm missing out. I have an apartment viewing today. Wish me luck. Good luck. Fingers crossed. For whatever you're trying to achieve with that. It's a very good series. Okay, yeah, it was brought up, I think, yesterday as well. Maybe I should write that down too. I have an entire list of stuff I need to look at over the weekend. What's the series about? And where can I find it? You're most welcome, Fit William. You are the best. Thank you. You are very sweet. On YouTube. Okay, the show's on YouTube. Well, that's then easy. I know how to find YouTube. I will remake the Dino Cat hybrid head because it was made out of a dino mask. Would you say 3D printed or foam bases are better? I'm mostly using the mask for public shooting or to go to convention. No. Okay, well, it's a taste thing, really. It's personal preference. Some people like 3D printed stuff more, some people like foam heads more. I personally like 3D printing, mostly because it's perfectly symmetrical. And that just makes my life so much easier. I also find them easier to make because I'm more used to digital sculpting. I know there's a lot of people who would say the opposite is true. Currently, I'm working with pretty much only TPU printed head bases. TPU is a soft material, so it feels almost like foam, but it is 3D printed. And I've been enjoying that a lot because it feels like it's the best of both worlds. It's perfectly symmetrical, it's decently lightweight, it's squishy, and I feel like it's very airy because you print it not with like closed walls, but in a textured way, which makes it more squishy, but also this entire thing is not a big block of plastic, but relatively airy considering everything. So if you have access to that, that would be a very nice option, in my opinion. But it comes down to personal preference and what kind of stuff you have. If you have a 3D printer, if you have a modeling program, or if you have someone to print for you, what kind of printer you have. Some printers will not be able to print TPU. So that's, I think, the first thing you need to check if you already have a printer. This channel is very underrated. I'm gonna sub right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. To be fair, I've started streaming very, very recently. And I started streaming on TikTok first. But I didn't like streaming on TikTok that much. So I've been switching over to YouTube. My mask making kit is coming today. That's cool. Three printed lasts longer than foam. Yeah, unless you print in like PLA, accidentally drop it, and it breaks into or 4 or 15 pieces. In which case the opposite is true. Really depends on a lot of stuff. It's a good decision you switched over to YouTube. Visited TikTok for the first time and now I see why it got banned. Yeah, honestly, what annoyed me most about TikTok was that it was censoring me a lot. It had a lot of restrictions on what I was and was not allowed to say, and if I said something that it didn't like, the algorithm, AI, whatever, would always pick it up, and then I would get a strike. And if I get enough strikes, I'll be banned from being on TikTok. And I have like, I don't know, 15,000 followers over there. I don't necessarily want to lose that. I mean, it's not that many, but it's still a nice number to have. Hello, Aramaya J. How are you doing? Thanks for the tips, also from the chat. My best friend has a 3D printer, so I can test it out with some bases later. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm always happy to help. I can't run away anyway, and I like talking about my weird-ass job. So if you guys have any questions about fursuit making, I'm here. Some haters can get in your stream just to hate too. Yeah, but it's not too bad, honestly. Can always block them. And I haven't made very many bad experiences with like haters on TikTok. I I once said in a TikTok that I wouldn't work with people who approached me with AI generated reference images. They're just blacklisted immediately. And that got a lot of negative attention. But that didn't carry over to the live streams or anything. Also didn't happen at the same time. TikTok is definitely its own place with its own vibe, but I wouldn't say I hate it over there. It's very different from YouTube, from Instagram. Though I do have to say, I never, like, funnily enough, I never scroll on TikTok. I don't consume content on TikTok. I just make content on TikTok. AI generated isn't creativity. It's just asking someone to generate an image, and then it's that quick with no effort at all. Creativity is literally the definition of effort. Yeah, in a sense, right? So that's like, there's a multitude of reasons as to why I do not work with people who send me AI generated images. But yeah, those people do not like to hear that. They do not appreciate it. I think I'm running out of thread, very close to my goal, and that's not great. I think I'll just get a new piece of thread now. there were a lot of arguments for the usage of AI under that video. A lot of them were very wild. A lot of them I found quite ridiculous. But I think what showed me like the most, like what I found the most telling, was that over time I realized most of the arguments for the use of AI are incredibly empty. And people who are against AI tend to have dozens and dozens and dozens of deep thought out arguments, where people who are for AI are just like, it's easier, it's simpler, I can't. That's like the main argument for the usage of AI. Without it, I can't. It's all self-centered. Like, you know, arguments for AI is, I can't, I want to save money, I can't afford to learn, stuff like that. And arguments against AI is, it's bad for the environment, it's bad for art at large. It's always, you know, people thinking about the greater good. I found that very telling. Anyway, if anyone here has played Animal Hospital, I made a security guard cosplay. I have not. I really want TikTok. The only problem would be it's apparently bad for mental health. Yeah, the biggest issue is the short form content. It's bad wherever you watch it. It's bad on YouTube, it's bad on Instagram, and it's bad on TikTok. The biggest issue with TikTok is that it's exclusively short form content. So the entirety of TikTok is bad for your mental health. Whereas with Instagram, looking at only like image posts, also not super great if you do that for hours, obviously, but it's much less of a bad impact. And the same goes for YouTube. Looking at long-term videos on YouTube, also not always great for your mental health, since you're also consuming content and dependent on what you're watching. But if you spend most of your time on YouTube watching, you know, good long-form content, that's not nearly half as harmful as watching just shorts. So I don't see like the point of getting on TikTok to consume content at all. Again, I really don't watch stuff there. I only post, and I only post because I wanted to make Instagram reels, and then I decided it would be a bit stupid to not post the exact same content on TikTok since it exists. And I've come to really like posting on TikTok. Did you watch Alan Becker before? No. Don't know who that is. Should I? Who is that and what does he do? But to get back to like content, I think it's absolutely fascinating, like the what studies and stuff have proven about how short form content specifically impacts your brain and how you can concentrate in the short term and in the long term. Found that deeply fascinating. Is famously known for his series animation versus animator or something like that. It involves stickman, but it's really good animated. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. That's the reason I love watching live stream, because they're long and people interact with you instead of ignoring you most of the time. Yeah, live streams are definitely like a special kind of corner, special thing. You are German. Do you like the Paulaner Spezi? I don't care about Spezi. Oh, that was bad of me, wasn't it? No, the thing is, I don't drink any sodas with caffeine, and so I really don't care about the Spezi bowl at all. If I drink like sodas and sweet stuff, it tends to be weird sodas and sweet stuff. Like something organic with like slightly odd ingredients is more my thing than, you know, something mainstream. Actually, I was thinking about getting myself a funky soda. I was craving something sweet. I only have my water here. Hey Geckos Dragons, welcome back. On YouTube Shorts, I saw someone's older sibling asking their younger sibling, what does everyone deserve? And the younger sibling shouted, sunshine. You know it's bad when a 5-year-old has self-awareness. I mean, I haven't seen that video, but I guess. I'm not super happy with this corner. You're gonna see in a second what it looks like from the front when I'm done with these few last stitches. But I think I didn't stitch this as nicely as I could have, and I'm not sure if that's visible in the end. Oh yeah, that corner is questionable. Have you ever broken one of your fursuits before? No. I refurbished one, so I guess I broke it intentionally to take it apart and build it back up again. But to be fair, that might sound bad, but I don't fursuit that much. I don't really have reason to. I've been thinking of, so that I finally have a reason to fursuiting this weekend at a Ren fair, just so that I finally would fursuit out in public. But for the most part, my fursuits are commissions that I make for others. I have like 2 personal fursuits that I sometimes wear for videos, and then that's it. And if I only ever wear them for videos, they don't break. They stay nice and pretty. Though, like, fursuits of mine have broken before. I've had customers return fursuits for repairs and stuff. That happens. That's somewhat normal, depending on how often they're worn and how well they're taken care of and stuff. As a closeted LGBTQ person and a spiritual Therian, I look-y wonder what it feels like to go to a Ren fair. I mean, you could go. What's keeping you from it? Ren fairs are really fun. It depends on the Ren fair as well. There are some that feel very, we want to make money on you, spend your money on us. And there are some that are, you know, happier, more joyful, and less commercial. There are some that feel more like festivals and some that are more like tiny markets. I'm not sure about the one I'm going to. It's not like an event that occurs more often. This is like, my city is turning 777 years old this year, and so the city decided we need to have a Ren fair because it's an old city now. And so it's not like this event occurs more often. It will happen this weekend and then it will be over. So I'm pretty intrigued to see what it will be like. Do you know about the Japan Day in Düsseldorf? It's a yearly event, and every time I go, I see so many furries. Yeah, furries love being at anime conventions. I have not been to the Japan Day. I've been to Dokumi before, which is also in Düsseldorf. Hi, I'm new. Welcome, Silverfur Leopard. I'm also kind of new. I've been streaming for like 3 days on YouTube or something, so we're all new. Should I make my own fursuit, or is it better to buy one? That depends on what you're trying to do and what your end goal is. Do you like making stuff and crafting? Then making your own fursuit might be the better idea. Are you a control freak who wants to have control exactly over what everything in your costume looks like? Don't torture a fursuit maker, just make it yourself. Do you have no crafting experience and no interest in learning? Buy one. I think the corner of the mouth didn't turn out super great, but I think it's good enough. It's symmetrical enough, it's decent. I will live with it. I'm pretty sure that I could never commission another fursuit maker unless it was like for an artistic liberty suit where I really left them all the freedom, where I gave them no feedback at all, because I'm just too much of a control freak. I love making that type of stuff, but it's very difficult and sometimes I lose motivation. Yeah, that's often the problem, isn't it? Question is if you can find a way to keep yourself motivated. I feel like fursuits online, for example Etsy, Amazon, etc., are more risky to buy because I see some that are AI generated scams or fur farms, so it's better to make one because it has effort. I mean, it really depends. If you want to buy a fursuit, do your research. You have to do a lot of research into where you're getting it and who you're getting it from. Like, do research into the background of that person. Have they made fursuits before? How many have they been selling them before? Stuff like that. Are they a real person? Are there reviews? Is their style consistent? That one is super important. And if you do a lot of research, you will find fursuit makers that are actually trustworthy. You're so talented. Thank you very much. This looks Valentino themed, like Valentino from Has Been Hotel. That Valentino. I guess slightly, right? Because of the red, pink, and the white. But it's not. But I could make something that's Valentino themed. It would also, like, it would generally be very fun to have something Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss themed. I love the shows. When are you usually streaming? Because it's really chill just listening and chatting. Oh, thank you. I don't have a super consistent schedule. So fursuit making is my job. And I'm working on that, every day of the week besides the weekend because I deserve a day off. And I tend to stream whenever I can. Not every task is suitable for streaming. So, I've been trying to find a bit more of a consistent schedule, but for the most part, as much as I can on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, around the same time as today is when I'm usually streaming. I should probably turn that into some kind of schedule here on YouTube. I'm a protogen that doesn't own a fursuit. I wish I had one. Protogens are also like expensive because of all that electronic stuff, but also for protogens, I would say just make it yourself. Because you're gonna buy 90% of the components anyways. Like if I were to make one for you, I would buy the same components. I would just add the fur. And I feel like, carving 2 ears out of foam and adding the fur is not that hard and it's not that much work, so just make it yourself. If you were to give an inspirational quote to the earth, what would it be? I sound like an interviewer. Oh, this might be a dumb one, but I have, something that drives me sometimes. I sometimes have projects that are really, really, really overwhelming. And my mantra is no fear, which sounds dumb, but it's no fear. I just tell myself no fear, and then I dive into the project that overwhelms me, that I'm afraid of, and then I just do it. And for the most part, it actually turns out pretty decent. Like, it's pretty rare that a project entirely derails and goes wrong. So no fear tends to be a pretty good mantra. Even if it sounds a bit dumb, like I'm some kind of caveman. The makeup Protogen Dream Studios makes great suits for 4K to 6K only. Have you seen one of their suits in person? Because I've been so interested in those. Like, I've seen some of the stuff they post, and they post such, like, scummy marketing. They had a marketing video where they said, our stitches are better than the stitches of every other fursuit maker. And I was like, what? How? That's just a marketing claim that's a lie. And so I've been thinking, like, can they actually hold up to the claims that they're making? Or, it's just the marketing very good and very predatory. Because really, that, like, this claim of our stitching is better than that of every other fursuit maker is not true. It's not how sewing works. It's just a machine that makes stitches. They can't be better or worse. Like, there's small differences, but for the most part, it's not like they know a secret about how to use a sewing machine that no one else knows. Anyway, if you wish everyone to express themselves freely, why bully those who do? Is that the inspirational quote that you would give to the world? That's much deeper than no fear. Okay, what was I trying to do today? I had a plan for the day. Yes, I wanted to make the hair tuft for this fursuit. Let me get a piece of paper and draw out a pattern. I just wanted to do like a very simple hair tuft as well. I didn't want to do anything special. I'm guessing it's going to be watermelon themed. Like this fursuit. Strawberry, actually. But watermelon is pretty close. I think if I had more black in here, I'd think more of watermelons. Nice pattern drawing, William. Thank you. Do you wear fursuits on conventions? No. Honestly, I don't like the combination of fursuits and conventions, mostly because I want to see the convention. I like cosplaying. I recently cosplayed for the first time at a convention, and I loved it. It was so great. I was having so much fun. I think this hair is pretty decent. The glass fiber internet is kicking in. Yeah, sorry about that. Who commissioned you? Just asking, by the way. Like, human beings. Furries, for the most part. This is a pre-made, so no one commissioned me for this one. But for the most part, people, I don't know if I understand the question correctly. Do you think I have enough scissors, or do I need like a few more on my table? I've been lacking hunger lately, though. I'm feeling fine. Is it normal? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. How should I know? Maybe you should, go and see a doctor. They might be able to answer your question. I surely can't. I'm just a random furry on the internet. OMG, that looks absolutely amazing, dude. Thank you, dude. I have 6 scissors and a foam cutter on my desk. Relatable. Currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scissors on my table. And a knife and clippers over here. Okay, I think I have like 2 slightly different shades of green. Or maybe not. No, I don't. Okay, I ran out of my other shade of green. That's not a huge deal, since I still have this shade of green. I have 6 foam cutters and a scissor. By the way, what's foam cutters? Save some scissors for the rest of us. No, I won't. I have even more scissors in the other room, by the way. I have this one, I have twice. And, yeah, I have more scissors. Does the price change for commissions based on the design? Like, if the design is more complicated, is it more expensive? Yes. Yes, it does. So if you were to want to see my prices, you can head on over to my website, and I have my starting prices over there. That means that that is the minimum a fursuit is going to cost, and then it will be more expensive depending on design. I like the green fur. Thank you, I guess. I want to steal all of your scissors digitally. I don't know how that works, but good luck. Good luck with that. I think that needs to go slightly more like that. What was I trying to get? I walked to the other room and I forgot what I wanted as soon as I got there. But I figured it out again. I wanted a Sharpie. I wish I could make fursuits, but the best I can do is my Therian masks. I mean, what's keeping you from it? I sincerely believe that everyone can make a fursuit if they set their mind to it. The first one might not turn out great, but my first one didn't turn out great either. That's very normal. Material prices and my mother. Yeah, okay. Then maybe you need, patience until you're a bit older. And if you still want to make a fursuit, then maybe you can. But also, I believe that Therian masks could be a really good practice, and then if you're really good at making those, and you make your first fursuit is going to look amazing. Mine surely didn't. Mine looked really weird. Therian masks can also be fursuit. Like from the creator Crypt, that is a furry, but with their masks are Therian masks. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's a bit controversial to talk with furries about what a fursuit actually is and where the line is crossed into something else. But at the end of the day, if you want something to be furry, then it can be furry. Where's my bin? Over there. Wonderful. Now let's put this back into the closet. Where are my pins? I feel like half of me working is just asking where's my stuff and then going on a hunt for where my stuff actually ended up. Here we are. fursuit makers more than one cutters, I guess. I think tools just collect over time. At this point, I have like 2 or 3 of every tool. Is it allowed when I draw fan art from your persona, the blue one from the YouTube shorts? And I won't draw anything freaky or so. Yeah, you can absolutely draw fan art if you want to. I'd be happy to receive some. I have a toy house for that character as well if you need some reference images. Though I have to say, that is not my persona. That is technically a pre-made fursuit that I'm trying to sell. So making fan art of that character is a bit strange. It might not be what you want to do. Awesome work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I can never, it's so hard. Like fursuit making, crafting, drawing, life. What is hard? Okay, that was better. Are you a part of the LGBTQ? Just asking. I not quite, I guess. I don't know. I see myself as an aromantic asexual, which just feels like somewhat at the side of everything. Because a lot of LGBTQ is like, we're supporting love and we're celebrating love, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't love. How long does it usually take for one fursuit in total? It depends strongly on the design. So recently, since I've been getting that question, how long does it take so often, I sat down and I actually tracked the time for one fursuit. And it was the simplest design you can imagine. It didn't even have eyebrows. And for one head, it took me 18 hours, which is ridiculously short. That was a wonderful project. Nothing went wrong. I made no mistakes. Super simple design. I don't think I could repeat that on the same design if I tried. But that is the absolute minimum it will ever take me to make a fursuit head. On this one, I think I spent at least 12 hours just hand sewing all of the markings. So it really, really depends on the design. I can't give you a flat number. Do you have any picture of your persona? Yes, I have tons of pictures of my persona. If you'd like to see it, I have a toy house for that character as well. But I also have my reference sheet somewhere on my Discord server, I think, if you want to join that. Hey, Kenna, I believe is how your name is pronounced. How you doing? I'm aromantic, ace, genderfluid, and bisexual. If I had any romantic interests, I would be bisexual. Oh, okay. That's a lot of labels. Yeah, I find that stuff sometimes a bit complicated. So I'm like, I'll be on the sidelines. You'll be, free and happy in love, and I'll be like, over here. You're so creative and your voice sounds so nice. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. That's very lovely. I'm happy you like my voice. I've been thinking of actually like improving my voice. It's been like on my mind for a while that I maybe should, for funsies, but also for like the live streams and the videos, work on making my voice not sound better necessarily, but just healthier. Because I have that quite often that after the live streams, my throat is very dry and you know, it aches a bit. And I'm like, that's not great. I'm slowly but surely killing my voice, I think. So I might need to work on that. Maybe. I have so many illustration boards. What do I do with them? Should I make arrow frutiger posters? You could. Sounds fun. Why not? Okay, I'll need to sew this together. And I don't think I can show you how I do that. Do you know Iron Mouse? I wish I could stay on 4% battery, but I'll stay until it runs out. Thank you for spending your last few percent on this live stream and hanging out with us. I've heard of Iron Mouse. I don't really watch her content. Like, I've seen some clips, seen the character design before, and that's basically it. Why do you ask? Okay. You'll have to give me a minute to stitch all of this together off camera. I'll continue talking to you. You just won't see my hands anymore. But you might hear the sewing machine sounds in a second. I'll also have to see if I have a green bobbin somewhere. Oh, I have a light green bobbin. Do I have a dark green bobbin? Do you recommend more hand sew or using a sewing machine for fursuits? I personally like hand sewing more, but my hand sewing is kind of messy. So I prefer both depending on situations. I'm lazy. That's important. You have to know that. So I want to do as much as possible with a sewing machine. But I found over time that for the faces, the sewing machine is just not practical. So all of these seams on the face where the fur is short, I do hand sewing now. I tried it with a sewing machine. It came out crooked. It didn't come out as nice as I wanted it to. And the seams were very hard. And I felt like I could feel them on the face when touching it. And I could like see them as well. Like here is a seam in here. You can't see it. I can't see it from here either. And that's because it's hand stitched. So for this, hand stitching is better. For everything where I can use a sewing machine, I will. So the inside here, the back of the head, the zipper, that's entirely machine. And even funnier is like this part, because this is hand stitched, because I cannot do this curve with a sewing machine. This is machine with a thin zigzag, because this line is too small to get it under a serger. And then this is serger. So I always see what's possible and then go for the biggest machine I can. So serger if possible, zigzag if possible, hand stitch, last resort basically. Do you like my normal font or random font? I prefer, honestly, normal font because it's a bit easier to read. Where do you get your fur from? Stockholm, here in Germany. What do you usually do after work? Is there just work, work, work? There's not just work, work, work. I like reading a lot. Too much, potentially. I have a bit of a problem with reading. I read too much, entirely. I, sit down with YouTube videos. Sometimes I get lost in a show on Netflix or something. There's a lot of movies that I like. I'm 1%. I'm a sub, so I can see whenever you live. Nice. Thank you very much. Hello there. Hello, Voka. How are you doing today? And also, thank you for swinging around. Funny, the same questions like on TikTok. Yeah, it's pretty similar, actually. Have you ever read a gay book or fan fiction before? Yes. Yes, I have. Loads. An unbelievable amount of gay fan fiction have been seen by my eyes. Don't question it, please. No, I read pretty much exclusively gay romances because I find that straight romances tend to be more toxic in ways that are sometimes even hidden. I think they're toxic in ways where the authors don't notice. The amount of internalized misogyny in straight romance written by women is crazy, and I don't want to be confronted with that. I have to go for a few minutes, but I'm packing my backpack for Pratt for tomorrow. Okay. Have fun with that. Good packing. Okay, I'll be on the sewing machine for like a minute or two. You'll probably hear the machine. And then you'll have my hands on the table again. I put new wheels under my chair and it's now out of control. It's actually rolling. Don't know about you, but desk chairs always lose the ability to roll after a week or two. Okay, that looks pretty decent. And I'm back on stream, both. I'm fine. Weekend is near and going to a local monthly furry meetup tomorrow. Probably talking a lot about Eurofans in 2 weeks. That sounds very nice. I don't think there is a local furry meetup in my area. I'm charging right now, but one question before I leave. Can you try to make a Therian mask once, if you haven't already? I haven't. I feel very tempted. For some reason, here on YouTube especially, more so than on TikTok, there's a lot of Therians in the chat. And so they all have been talking about, I shouldn't flip this inside out actually. They've all been talking about the Therian masks they've been making, and I'm like, damn, maybe I should make one too. It sounds really fun. But I'm not a Therian. I would just, make a mask for funsies, not for anything deeper. And I need to go and grab a magnet from somewhere. I should have one somewhere. Potentially. I'm one too. You can make one for fun. They're fun, so. They do seem like they would be fun to make. I'm not sure what species I would make. I would have to think about that a lot. I'm gonna start watching your stream while making a yaoi fanfiction. Very nice. About which fandom are you writing? I feel like that sentence was grammatically incorrect, and we're just gonna ignore that. Got to go. Bye. Yeah, thank you for swinging by, and have a great rest of your day. So my goal now is to stitch a magnet here, because this will be a magnetic hair tuft, and maybe I'll make a second one just for funsies. Bats lesbian fursuit goes hard. Like bats and deers separately, or a bat and deer hybrid, because that sounds really cool as well. Something with wings and antlers, badass. Yeah, we found the magnet. It's not centered. How did I manage to not glue the magnet in the middle? Oh well. Are you a coffee drinker? No, I drink nothing that contains caffeine. I just don't like it. It makes my heart race. Hello, Roses, videos, and OCs. How are you doing? Hybrid, yes. I don't think I've ever seen a hybrid of a deer and a bat before, but again, it does sound very cool. I'm making a stress ball because why not? It sounds distressing to make a ball as much as it would be to have it. How does one make a stress ball? And where did I put my needle? We're back to another episode of Kreatorium looking for stuff. That should definitely be here. Oh, here it is. Circles so add stuffing. Oh, nice. Would you, like, do you think it would be fun to make stress balls out of faux fur? Like, just stitch the faux fur basically into a little puff. Put something nice inside that you can crunch nicely. Like those balls that you put in stuffies to weigh them down and to make them feel nicer. Would you want that? Hey, Yoshi, how are you doing? This is so entertaining that I'm watching it on my TV while I charge. Nice. So you get a very big view on the mess on my table. I would honestly do that, but I don't have no more faux fur. I mean, I could do it. I have a lot of faux fur lying around. I've been thinking about what to do with my leftover faux fur, and now that you're saying, maybe stress balls would be really fun. Depending on if, like, you know, people were interested in them. I don't have, you know, need for 50 stress balls, but I have enough fur to make 50 stress balls. Bye-bye from iPad now, but I can't comment. Oh, okay. I'm still waiting for material to make my mask, my tail, and my paws. Nice. Are those like fursuit masks and paws and tails, or more like Therian, or something in between? It'd be cool if you make Fursona style stress balls. That would indeed be very cool. I mean, I think I would start with like fan art stuff. Oh, I just ran out of red. Or else I could do like Helloverse inspired in color scheme stress balls. And if I made enough, then people might say, I can do Fursuits. Can I tell you a story? It's going to be long. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to read out the entire story, if it's too long. Where do you usually get your fur from? Looks great, by the way. Thank you. I get my fur from Stoffhummel. It's a German seller. She resells Big Z fabrics, and she also has her own line of fur, which is pretty good. I think it's also a bit cheaper. Not that I necessarily look out for that. I have some leftover fur bits from Ifutro, which is a Polish store, and they have some really good quality fur as well. OMG, that's so sick. Thank you. Or I hope you're not responding to the story right above yours. The story is basically just me collapsing while waiting in line with my mom and her suitor because my vision started getting blurry and I got pale. I mean, that's not a very nice story. I hope you didn't hurt yourself. Are you okay? I'm so glad my For You page showed me this. Well, I'm happy you're here. Is it for anyone or is it just for yourself? It's a pre-made, so it will be for sale at a convention. And then hopefully it will find a good home. I want to Fursuit so bad, but I'm so broke. I mean, that's unfortunate, but you have, I guess, two options. Save up or make one yourself. Just in case you guys are wondering what exactly I'm doing, because I don't think I've explained that, I'm sewing a little pocket so that I can shove this magnet inside here, so that the hair can be magnetic. Okay. So this way around, I believe it has to go in. Making one would be cool, but then I'd also have to get the stuff to make it. That's true. But getting the stuff to make it, at the end of the day, is cheaper than, paying someone for their work. I low-key wonder for a time, but my parents won't be supporting me. Well, that's a shame, but also, Can they really keep you from getting a tail if you want one? Shouldn't say that, probably. I'm a Therian, they are anti-fur and anti-Therian. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess. I guess in that case you'll have to be a bit patient until at some point you'll probably move out and then you can get all the fursuit tails you want. My parents aren't anti-furs, but I think they'll say that a fursuit is a waste of money. That is, they're not incorrect, though. Like, depending on how much money you have, getting a fursuit is not the smartest financial decision you can make. I'm not in the furry community, but I admire the skills you guys have. That's really impressive. Keep the good work and keep dreaming. Thank you. That's very kind. Wait, I could make a tail out of beads. That sounds really fun too. Yeah, go for it. Like, use whatever you have. Imagine spending 10k on a fursuit. Has happened before, will probably happen again. Though I have to say, my prices are not quite that high. What if making a fursuit out of beads? That would be sick. It would be really cool. I can't quite imagine what it would look like. But if anyone ends up doing that, send me a picture or something. I want to see it. Green hair was a really good choice. I do not like that I did not manage to put the magnet in the middle. What happened when I glued on the magnet? Was I half asleep? It's also a bit far forward. I think further back would be nicer, because then the symbol would be visible. Maybe I'll really squish like a second magnet in here further back, then the customer can decide where to place the hair. But I think the hair tuft turned out pretty decent. Gotta go was a great live stream. Always makes my day. Thank you. That's so kind. And thank you for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your day. That looks like a mohawk. So cute. Thank you. Yeah, it was supposed to. I wanted something mohawk adjacent. Just something small and fluffy and cute. I've been doing a lot of like hairstyles. Or I'm doing a lot of hairstyles right now, actually. In my current commission list are 2 characters with long hair and one that has exchangeable hairstyles. And so, yeah, a lot of hair recently. So I've been wanting to take it easy for this pre-made. What are you making? I'm making a tiger fursuit head. Is it hard to see out of a fursuit? It's decently hard. It depends on the suit. Some of them have really good vision, some of them have really bad vision. Depends on how the eyes were made, how far apart they are, where they sit on the head, how big they are. But yeah, vision is limited. You will have a blind spot directly in the middle. I'm working on my own fursuit head while watching, trying to get it done before Eurofriends this month. Good luck, fingers crossed that you get it done. Also, I always love it when people work on fursuits while watching the stream. I just think that's so cute. That's like, we're co-working together. That's adorable. I've made tails out of yarn and even little pride posters out of yarn. Cool. How much does it cost? Fursuits cost differently much depending on complexity. I was thinking, depending on how well this thing turns out, about 1,600 probably. Euros. That's important to say too. Euros. Did I overstuff this? Maybe slightly. Is that cute that it's overstuffed? Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like the hair gives it so much. I mean, we need ears. We definitely, that just makes it look so unfinished. Why? Why does it cost differently depending on complexity? Because it's just more work. So, like, sewing a very simple face together, I think I can do that in like 5 hours, 6 hours. A very complex face can take me 10 hours, 12 hours. So that would already be, much more. Just found the stream. The head looks so cool. Currently working on a redesign while watching. Thank you. I hope your project goes well. One of the most commonly asked questions I get is, what stitch are you using? So I will be preventing that question by saying I'm using a ladder stitch. My redesign is based on a franchise character I first sewn at, revamping this whole pattern and stuff. It's hard for me not to get too complicated for redraw purposes. But that sounds cool. Like, what franchise is it inspired from? But yeah, getting, like, especially if you're looking to make something into a fursuit eventually, it's really hard to not get too detailed. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I'm just going to add another dot here and another dot here, and then suddenly you have a lot of patterns and the fursuit takes ages. A strawberry fursuit looks like an anime god, like the kitsune and a tiger with a strawberry mixed together. You think so? Five Nights at Freddy's, specifically Mike Schmidt from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 movie. He's a big comfort character for me. His first design is kind of star themed, but it became too complicated. Okay, I don't know what that character looks like. I've heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, never actually interacted with it. Not much of a horror person, but that does sound really fun. I I have a character design lying around that's based on what if Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender were a dragon. So I can very much emphasize with that. Zuko is also a huge comfort character for me. And I've been wanting to make that fursuit for a few weeks now. But then I'm thinking, no, you can't make an Avatar The Last Airbender first. That's dumb. Stop doing that. And I go back, then I'm like, no, I really want to make it. So we'll see. Hi, Laura. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Wait, Zuko as a dragon sounds so cool. Can I nerd out? I will show you the design. I will show you the design. And then you can tell me if you think I, did decently well, or if you think it looks weird. If I can find it. Where did I put it? Okay, it doesn't have eyes. That's one of the issues we're having right now. But this is my rough design of potentially Zuko as a dragon. And then, yellow or gold eyes, basically. That looks so good. Thank you. Thank you. I really, really want to make it. And the horns and stuff, I was like, oh, he has to have like a broken horn. Please do. I'd love to see. If I get around to it. Also, like, he would kind of be like a pre-made, and I tried to not buy stuff for pre-mates, but I ran out of red fur, so I'd have to buy red fur. So we'll see. We'll see. And I want to make him like a huge fluffy mane. I'm so into fluffy manes. And have you guys seen his design from the movie and his like flowy hair? I was like, yes, I need to do that into that dragon design. He's so cool. I shouldn't talk about that. I'm definitely much too obsessed with him. It looks like Queen Scarlet from Wings of Fire. Oh, I don't know that one. Loki looks like the serpent, but it's yellow-red version, so that looks cool. I love his hair design so much. His hair is amazing. Oh my gosh. I've always had a thing for long-haired characters. Whenever I watched like a romance anime and there was a male lead option that had long hair, I was like, yes. I read a manga. I still remember that. I read a manga where there was a guy who had this wonderful long hair and everyone disliked him. And then they cut off his hair and suddenly everyone was like, he's so hot. And I was like, no, he was much hotter before. I'm obsessed with long hair for some reason. I haven't watched Avatar in years, sadly. I mean, do it. Totally go back. I watched it recently, and I have to say, it aged wonderfully. There's so many shows that age really badly. Avatar: The Last Airbender didn't. Men with long hair are the best. It's just better. Especially in like in manga and in anime, I'm like, yes. 100% yes. If you were to choose the voice of one of your fursuits, what is it gonna be? Oh, I don't know. That's a hard question. I've never thought about that. I have a favorite voice actor, like a favorite German voice actor, and I guess I would make a fursuit specifically for his voice. Is that weird? But for my fursuits, I don't really have voice picks, I have to say. It's one of the best shows to rewatch, honestly. Yeah, it is. It's really nice to rewatch. It's something I go back to every few years. And the fun thing is that I, as a teenager, I really had a thing for Zuko. It didn't really go away. But I watched it for the first time when I was, 15-ish, maybe a bit younger. I don't remember. And I just thought Zuko was so cool. And when I watched the first episodes, I'm like, what's up with me? Why did I like that guy? And then over the show, he grows so much, and I go like, yeah, I totally understand why 15-year-old me did have the hots for Zuko. I'm so slow with watching series. There's so many on my list. I won't be done in the next 5 years. That's also understandable. There's a lot of shows. Though I have to say, especially with new shows, there's not a lot of like good stuff, in my opinion. I feel like especially in new shows, like the first season is decent and then it just drops off into oblivion. I feel like that happened with like The Witcher. I loved the first season of The Witcher. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And the second one was so underwhelming in comparison. Maybe that's just me. And then recently I watched Smallville, which is a Superman show, in case you guys didn't know. And Smallville has 9 seasons or something. I don't know. It has over 200 episodes, okay? And it's consistently good. Like, in Smallville, I wouldn't say there's an episode where I was like bored out of my mind. All the episodes were good. There were a few that were slightly less good, but there wasn't even a season that was less good. Like, the entirety of it was just so consistently entertaining, and I loved that. And that is absolutely not a thing anymore today. I feel like most shows at some point just kind of die and become really bad. New shows are so bad because it's all the same, tropes recycled, which usually isn't bad, but they just carbon copy it somehow. Yeah, that too. I feel like they're not as entertaining anymore. They don't feel as fresh, but they also don't feel as sincere. I don't know. I also feel like they're afraid to take risks, which doesn't make the shows better, it just makes them boring. I grew up on Smallville. I wish I had grown up on Smallville. I discovered it, and I watched the entire thing in a row. I watched nothing in between. It was amazing, and it took over my life. And I felt like these characters were my friends. Because it's so many episodes, and they're all like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So really full weeks every day. I saw these characters on my screen. I started watching The Pit, and it is so interesting because instead of constant dramas and time skipping, every episode is 1 hour of their shift. One season is one workday for them. Oh, that is interesting. I think my mom would like that. I don't think it would be a show for me, but that feels like at least like a fresh new concept. So how do they keep that interesting? Because, it feels catastrophically unrealistic. Because I can't assume that something interesting happens all the time. Sometimes you just have a break. I'm good at hand sewing territorium. I mean, that's good for you, I guess. I've been wanting to rewatch, but me and my partner already have such a big list. Recently, we're watching Star Wars because I'd never seen it, and I think I'm honestly starting to really like it. Oh. I also have never seen Star Wars. And I was already overwhelmed. Like, I was thinking about watching it, and then I was like, in what order should I watch it? And then I was entirely overwhelmed and I stopped. Hello, just came here to appreciate the Fursuits. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Do you guys like Pokemon? I personally don't. I've never had anything to do with Pokemon. Never played the games, never watched the show. I'm entirely missed out on that. Sometimes I think about, with my adult money, buying a Nintendo, like a really old and crunchy Nintendo, getting some games and catching up on all the stuff that I missed out because I never had a Nintendo. The pit has one main character, but they switch depending on the ER cases coming in. There's about 7 to 10 characters. It keeps switching in between, and you get crumbs of their personal life. Yeah, that does sound interesting. Again, it's not my type of show, probably. I'm not into medical dramas, but I might recommend it to my mom. I think she might like it. Hey, Cheddar Official. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Currently working on a paper dragon. Oh, very nice. If you recommend the pit to your mom, please include that they will not pan away from gory stuff. It's obviously fake, but they do keep it on screen. Okay. Thank you for the warning. I don't think she would mind. I still remember we watched Grey's Anatomy together, and sometimes she would hold her hand over my eyes to make sure that I didn't see the gory stuff. Specifically when George died. I've never seen the episode in which George dies with my face, with my eyes. I've just heard it because my mom always closed my eyes because I was most definitely too young to be watching Grey's Anatomy. There we go. It does look like a little. I think because it's green, it also looks very punk. Maybe because I associate punks with green. Now I want to have green hair again. That was a really fun time when I had green hair. Making a fursuit looks really fun, but it also seems really expensive to get into. It is decently expensive. I think the most expensive part is the fur. Everything else is okay. Looks like a punk strawberry. It does, right? It does look a bit punk, much more than I had expected from just like a green hair tuft. Hi, I'm new. Welcome, new. I'm Creator Will. This is so cute. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll actually be dyeing my hair green this week. Very nice. Yeah, and my hair was green at some point in my life, very long ago. And I did enjoy it. I think it was even green multiple times. I lost track of my own hair colors. I'm a Therian. I love furries. Very nice. Yeah, there's a lot of Therians in the chat. You're not alone. My cousin makes paper dragons, and in a couple days I will visit her for 2 weeks and teach her to make better paper dragons since she's a beginner. Nice. I'm back to say and bye. Gotta go to sleep. Okay, bye. Thank you for hanging out with us. And have a great rest of your day. Or a great night, depending on time of day. I often hear people talking about paper dragons. I don't think I've ever seen, like, it sounds like it's something very specific. Is it something very specific? love the fursuits you're making. I subbed. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Do you have any long-term plans as a fursuit maker? Where do you want to be in the next years? I'm not sure if I'm much of a planner. I want, my business to continue to be stable. That's the plan, I guess. I have ideas more so. I would love to get more into puppet and doll making. I already make dolls. I can show you one since you're asking. So I like dolls. I like them a lot. Ouch. And so I would love to offer like custom fursona dolls and puppets. So this is one that I've been working on. Can string that up. And I'm thinking it would be fun to offer these in addition to my fursuits. I've been going to conventions and selling there, and it's not super profitable, but it's also, not the worst. And I think I would like to get to making a decision about whether or not I want to continue selling at conventions. And if yes, obviously I would want to improve that. And if no, I would want to find something else that's equally as fun. So this is a little doll that I'm working on. It's like posable as well. This kind of stuff I would love to make more of. But, no one's really interested in these kinds of dolls, sadly. So yeah, I don't think I have plans. I have more like dreams and wishes. That doll is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's a fox. It's a fox. Paper dragons are little hand puppets, I believe. They look so cool. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll try making one at some point. What is your talent if you have one? This, I guess. I don't like the word talent. It kind of implies that you got magically good at something. I didn't get magically good at this. I just started very early. But yeah, you could say making stuff, crafting, that is kind of my talent. Have you ever made an Arctic fox before? No, I have not. What I have right now standing on my table is a fennec fox. If you want to see her, I can bring her in. So this is my fennec fox I'm working on, not mine. She's a commission. This is Luna. She has glasses and she has huge ears because she is a fennec fox. So pretty. I love her. She's so cute. Thank you, guys. Yeah, she's pretty close to being done, and then she can go on. The glasses, the glasses are so cute, aren't they? And they attach via magnets, so they're kind of just magically stuck on. I love doing vocals. Other paws also do them. Yeah, if it's fun. There's nothing that speaks against that. Bye, guys. Love you all. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with us, and have a great rest of your day. So in case you're wondering what I'm doing right now and why I brought out the iron, I'm ironing something sticky onto this long tongue, because when you turn this inside out and you stitch along the middle, the fabric often shifts around and then the tongue becomes very wrinkly, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to stick it together, basically. I don't usually do that on this side of the table, so I'm not sure if my cable is long enough. Oh, it's pulling. It's slipping very slowly. It's going to be on the floor at some point, I guess. I was imagining a Miku fursuit. Would you like to see a Miku fursuit? I have one. Here she is. It's Miku. She has very long braids. She has her thingamabobs and her other thingamabobs. Why are children making fursuits? You think I'm a child? I'm not a child. I'm a full-grown adult. I mean, full-grown might be a bit of a stretch. I'm short as fuck, but I'm a child. I'm an adult. I'm not a child. You sound like a 12-year-old. I'm not. Is it the voice or the accent that makes you say that? Both. Yeah, okay. You just no. I'm not a child. I'm 27. Okay. The way you style the hair is. That Mika, that looks so cute. The way you style the hair is cute. Thank you very much. I felt like the hair was a super important part of Miku, so I took good care of that. I can ban you if you want to, obviously. I mean, if you're asking for it. Ah, maybe I can't ban you. No, I can ban you, just fine. What about washing the fursuit with a tape in it? Does it harm it? What tape? What are we talking about? Why is there tape in the suit? How do you wash your fursuits? I I don't like washing fursuits that much, so I make my fursuits with a minimal amount of padding on the inside. And so for the most part, for the heads, you can just wipe down the inside, and if they get really stinky, you can put them in a tub and give them a bath. And the bodysuits can go into the washing machine. I think they're talking about the application you're ironing on. Oh, okay, so this is glue activated by heat. And that means that it doesn't unstick when it gets wet because it's activated by heat. But also you don't have to wash the tongue. These tongues are magnetically switchable, so you can take it out. I hope, to be honest, hope this is just a hobby because it's not a sustainable career. I mean, I've been doing this pretty sustainably, decently good for 3 years. So I'm saying it is a career. You can make it one. It's not a hobby, by the way. It is my career. But also, this thing that I'm ironing on right now, I will sew over that as well, so it can't really, even if it loosens, it doesn't really go anywhere. The only career is selling fursuits and stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm doing as my job, selling fursuits and stuff. Did you think the streams were part of my job? They're just here for fun. What the fuck is this shit? I'm leaving before I get hypnotized into the shit. Wait, that's our goal, to hypnotize you into being a furry, obviously. Probably that other person's alt account. Might be. But I'm, taking this with a sense of humor, because that's what it is. Kind of funny. People aren't whimsical anymore nowadays. It's so sad. That is slightly sad, yeah. But we can be as whimsical as we want to be. My cord is slightly too short. I'll have to pull this half off the table. My mom's dragging me away grocery shopping. I will return. Okay, have fun with your mom. I'm not sure how long I'll be online. But if not today, I might see you next Tuesday. That's so far away. That's so long. Hey Cats for Life, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? By the way, you're one of the 2 streamers that respond to me from the chat. I mean, I'm happy to respond, but also the chat is not, that busy. So I try to respond to almost everything. Unless I feel like you guys are chatting with each other, in which case I don't always respond. Oh, sometimes there are haters that I just block, but that's pretty rare. I'm happy to have conversations with you all. That's why I'm live, because I like talking to not just myself. Did you guys hear that? That's a steam train that sometimes passes by, and I never see it. I always only hear it. Can I see it today? No, I think it already passed. No, it already passed. I missed it again. Okay. I thought that was a Leviathan sound. No, just the train. I live very close to a train station. And so when the windows open, I hear every train. Hello, Poppy Tart. How are you doing? How are you? I'm good. I'm having a good time here, making fursuits, chatting with people, listening to the sounds of trains driving by. Reminds me of Howl's Moving Castle. You have a workshop like that? Oh, I wish I lived in Howl's Moving Castle. I think the set design, is that the correct word, is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, his room, the entire house, it's so beautiful. It's my favorite Ghibli movie, not just because of the house, but also because of the house. But no, my workshop doesn't look quite like that. Maybe at some point it will. I've been like, I live in a pretty decently old house, and some of the rooms have the old floors, and I would love to, you know, restore all of the old floors to their previous glory, have them look nice. I will act like it's under it too. Whoever hates, but not in a mean way. I want to rage bait them. I mean, have fun with that. Surprised you haven't gotten donations yet. I'm not. I mean, I haven't really ever gotten any donations. You know, people on TikTok have sometimes sent me roses, which translate to nothing, by the way. If you've ever been on TikTok and sent someone a rose, they're not actually getting anything from that. Maybe up to like 10 cents. Have you heard of Soda Tab? No, I have not. What is that? Should I hear of it? Should I do some research into that? Not the object, I mean the content creator. I've no idea. Isn't Soda Tab problematic? Are they? Now I'm intrigued. What's going on? Have we stumbled upon drama? They're a very bad creator, yes. Oh, okay. Then I think I don't want anything to do with them. That's what I tried to say. Oh, cute suit. Thank you very much, little guy. Cute username. I just made my first suit, but she has a cardboard base. I mean, that's fine. She probably won't last you as long as a suit that has a different type of base. But as long as you had fun making her, all is good. Yeah, I'll see if I can get you guys to see the sewing machine. That would be very fun, wouldn't it? If you make a new fursuit, name it Miku's 71st strand of hair joke. I don't understand what that means. Here we go. Now you guys can see the sewing machine. And I put the fursuit over here. My mask making kit arrived and I'm wearing my ferret mask. That's so cool. I thought it was a mask making kit. Is there like, doesn't that mean you have to make the mask first before you can wear it? I have questions. I made the mask. Oh, you're really fast then. I've never seen a fursuit other than mine in real life. That's a shame. I have to say I also haven't seen many other than my own in real life. Which is weird considering that I'm a fursuit maker. But I've never really had the chance. Okay, I'll have to concentrate for a second and do a bit of sewing and then I'll catch up with you guys. I was wondering why there's no thread in my needle. I have taken it out because I needed it for the hair. Wherever could it go? I took it. What is your weirdest favorite food? Mine is banana chips. Are banana chips that weird? Is that just me? I don't find banana chips that weird. But also, interesting question. What would my favorite weird food be? Oh, I eat toast, untoasted, so untoasted British bread, I'm gonna say. Cream cheese, Nutella. Love it. I think it's amazing. That's my weirdest food. Hello and nice fursuit making. Thank you very much. Multiverse Sage 2026. Mine is the Works pizza at Papa John. What is on that pizza? I now want to know. We don't really have Papa John's here. Yesterday I tried making oatmeal with cold milk. It ended up being something. I used to do that a lot, by the way. Oatmeal with cold milk. When I was still in, not quite college, but basically college. It's practical to make because you don't need to heat anything up. I made this tongue slightly asymmetrical and I'm gonna live with it. We all will live with it. I don't want to hear anything about it. Oh, that green thing was a tongue. I thought it was a leaf. No, it's a tongue. I think it looks more like a tongue now, with it being basically done. I will insert a magnet up here, but that's glued in with contact cement, and I don't do that on camera because I have to wear a respirator for that, and then you can't hear me very well. It does look a bit like a leaf, especially the small one. I've been wanting to make a dragon like selection. Like I want to make the fire dragon that looks like Zuko, obviously, but I would want to make either a dragon for like seasons or elements, but fire would be elements. And then I would make an earth dragon that would also have like leaves and another steam train. What's going on today? Like leaves and moss on it. That's also one of my dreams, and for that I would make leaves like this. And then a water dragon and some kind of air dragon. Okay. Is that a dragon fruit tiger? No, it's inspired by strawberry, but dragon fruit also fits very well in my opinion. It's like the working title is strawberry bubble tea. I thought of watermelon at the start. Yeah, it looks a bit like watermelon. It could be strawberry. It could be dragon fruit, although it fits. It's so cute. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's slowly coming together, especially when we're looking like I will be attaching the nose pretty soon. And then like it gets a green tongue. Dragonberry melon fursuit goes hard. It does. I'm Brie, but my persona name is Sherry. Nice to meet you. I go by she, her, they, them. Nice to meet you too. I wish I can do masks like that. I'm too stupid. No, you're not. Don't say that. I think everyone can make a fursuit, okay? If you want to make one, make one. The first one might not come out very good. Mine didn't either. That's totally okay and that's totally fine. But you can make a fursuit. I believe in you. Hello, Jacqueline Austin and Luna's Dragons. How are you guys doing? If this was live on TikTok, we would be cooked, bro. Why? Would we? Do you sometimes regret being a maker? No. The thing is, I can't not be a maker. Like, I get restless if I don't make stuff. If I wasn't a fursuit maker, I would still be a puppet maker or a prop maker or another type of maker. I would do crafting or more sewing or whatever else. I can't stop. I get, jittery and restless, and it's not a question, it's just not an option really to not be a maker of something. Sometimes I think I would like to make more, like a bigger variety of things. And that's, I think, the only somewhat of a regret I have, that when I started this fursuit making business, I didn't push other stuff. I just dialed in on fursuits. But I think I can still, open up my business to other stuff over time. You're so good at this. Thank you very much. Hey, I have an idea if you need it. You can make a plush of your persona. It's just an idea. Thing is, I already have a plush of my persona. However, I didn't make it myself. It was made for me by a friend, but it already exists. Any tips on making a fursuit with a 3D printed base? I have a 3D printed kimono base. I want some tips before I work on it. So, asking me for tips is always really hard because that's kind of open-ended. Do you have a specific question? I like helping. I just have a much easier time giving you, helping you with a specific question. I know you're no therapist or doctor or anything, but I've been experiencing burnouts from school. Have any tips? No, not really. I'm sorry. I can't really help you with that. I don't know what to do about that. I think, like, I've definitely experienced burnout before, but my way was to power through and then change my environment entirely. And especially if you're like not in your last year of school, that's probably not an option. So you should find a healthier way to deal with it than I did. You're so underrated, for real. Thank you. I'm doing beading right now, so I will just be hanging around here. Nice. I love it when people work while I work. It feels then like, a little co-working space. Make a paper doll of your personas. I have a puppet of my persona, actually. So I could make a paper doll, but I already have a puppet. Do you line the inside of a 3D printed fursuit first? Also, do you add some type of foam on the back of the head so that it's not like a hood? Yes, no, and yes. So I don't line my 3D printed fursuit heads at all. I don't like doing that. I think it's kind of silly. I used to add foam in the back of the head. I don't anymore. I just print my 3D printed heads longer. So you can see in this fursuit head, the printed part goes until here, which is basically here. So I don't need to add any foam. On this one, I added foam and it goes until the table is too small and it goes until here. So here is a bit of foam. And I use, if you can see that, I use EVA foam for that. I like that more than upholstery foam. But I don't think you need to line it. When will you do the ears if the mask has some? So the ears are not printed yet. So next week I will be doing the ears. What got you into the fandom? Fjord Frost. Anyone remember Fjord Frost? He is a YouTuber. I think all of the videos are taken down. I think the channel does not exist anymore. He's just entirely gone. He rebranded to Quartz Husky at some point, and he made a lot of videos about furry and fursuits, and he did like a lot of like fursuiters in a hotel room. And then he would explain this is like digilegs and this is planty great legs and stuff like that. And it was really good for getting into the fandom and understanding what was going on. And I fell in love with the fursuits and I made one. Immediately. Thank you so much for the tips. Of course, I'm happy to help. Wait, can you do another live next week when you do the ears? Sure, that was my plan. So for now, I will be streaming on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Not entirely sure about the time. Always around this time. Well, you're very good at this. Keep going. I will most definitely keep. I have to keep going. I also have a lot of commissions. I can't just stop. I'll try to watch every live. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy if you people hang out with me, even though I have to say it's a bit distracting. I should be productive. I'm just chatting. You have inspired me to make things. That's amazing. What are you making? I had a dream of a bunny fursuit and I have been designing it ever since. That's cool. Like, that's really cool. I wish I dreamt about fursuits. I mean, then I would be dreaming about my work. That would be slightly strange, but that sounds fun. What's the name of your persona and did you make a suit of here? So the name of my persona is Machen. It's my logo, which is my profile picture here. And I don't have a fursuit of Machen because the character has many brown tones that don't exist as fur. So I currently don't have the option to make that character as a fursuit. I have a plushie of the character, I have a puppet of the character. I could theoretically like put the character on my social media or use her for videos. I have a VTubing model of the character, which I never used. I tried VTubing, it's not really my thing. But maybe I'll make a fursuit at some point if I end up finding all of the brown tones that I need. I will go on a festival tomorrow. I will wear my mask too. That's very nice. I hope you have fun at your festival. I will be going to a Ren Fair today and tomorrow and the day after because it's 3 days. And I was thinking of maybe bringing my fursuit and wearing the fursuit at the Ren Fair, potentially. I'm contemplating if I should. How long have you been part of the fandom? Since 2017. That I don't need. These I do need. So these are the pattern pieces for the ears. I still need to cut out a big chunk here. I'm just not sure where I put my pattern. Here it is. So somewhere in here is the one pattern piece I have not cut out yet. So let's go on a treasure hunt. Yeah, I stumbled upon furry, and here it is, the furry fandom in 2017. And I made my first fursuit immediately. And then it was always like a thing on the side, something that never quite went away. I always had a project going on. Even when I was like studying, I finished school, went to something uni adjacent, and then I had a job. And even when I had that job, I was making fursuits on the side until I finally realized, what am I doing here? I should just make fursuits for a living. And then I did that. And now I lost my white minky somewhere. Where is my that it can't be gone? I had so much of it. That doesn't make sense. Here's the pink minky. Where's the white minky? I don't want to use the pink one. See you again soon. Happy make, take care. Okay, see you. I remember watching TikTok furry compilations on YouTube when I was like 5 or 6. It was my dream to get one. I love the fluff and the animals so much. That sounds very cute. Yeah, I had no idea. Like, I think YouTube didn't exist when I was 5. Yeah, it didn't. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I don't mind you asking. Don't worry. I'm from Germany. Some people can tell from my accent, and some people can't tell at all. I need some tips with the colors though, because my favorite colors are always changing. I'm not sure if I can help you with that, because my favorite colors are also always changing. Colors are so fun. I think every color has potential to be a favorite color, because they are all really fun. And I still don't... Ah, there it is. I found my Minky. Wait, you're German? Yes, I'm German. I'm from Germany. Well, I gotta go, but you have a great day. Thank you very much. And have a great rest of your day. Okay, so it's always so hard to find the direction of the Mochi Minky. I think it's that way. Ich kann auch Deutsch, das ist krass. Ich bin auch aus Deutschland. Ah, nice. Very nice that you're German as well. Yeah, usually we have, for some reason, a lot of Dutch people, a lot of people from the Netherlands in the chat. Don't know what's going on with that. I think I lost my fabric marker. I think I lost everything today. There's not one thing in this workshop that's where it's supposed to be. Here's my fabric marker. I'm going to sub. Thank you very much then. You're the first German fursuit maker I've seen in the last 3 years. I mean, it depends on where you look. Are you on Furbase? There's a lot of us there. I did it. Well then, congratulations on subscribing. And thank you very much. Oh no, I'm not. I'll take a look there. Yeah, Furbase is very old-fashioned, but it can be a decent place to be. How big do you make your seam allowance for smaller markings? I make the seam allowance as big as like the width of this line of this marker. So the line of that marker is that big, and that is the size of my seam allowance. And I do that for not just for small markings, I do that for everything that is hand stitched. For machine sewing, I do like a standard machine sewing seam allowance. Hi, are your bases 3D printed? If do you make the model? Yes, and yes. To both. I'm a control freak and I like making everything myself. And so I like model myself, I print myself. In the beginning I did foam bases, but yeah, not my thing. Switched to 3D printing as fast as I could. Thank you, I will get to trim my fur. Of course. Good luck. Can I describe my fursuit if that's alright? I mean, you can. I'm just not sure how you want me to react to that. Also, you can send me a picture if you want to. I have a Discord server. So if you'd like to show me your fursuit, you're very much invited to do so. You can find the Discord on my website. I'm back. Hello, welcome back. My website is linked to my YouTube, so you should be able to find that pretty easily. And I have a link to my Discord over there. I route everything through my website. It's very practical. Feels a bit old-fashioned sometimes to even have a website in today's day and age. What is your progress with the fursuit? I mean, I finished the tongues as far as I could, and then I cut out these pieces for the ears. Now I would stitch these together. I can't finish the ears because they're not printed yet, and I might be ending the stream after stitching the ears because it's been 3 hours already. And then over the weekend I will get to printing the ears. Hey, I'll join your Discord, I'll send my mask. Okay, I need to see if Discord is even open on this device. It is. Yeah, my Discord is not super active. Been trying to turn it a bit more into like a cute little community. But it used to be primarily for my customers, and then I decided, why not open it up to everyone? I think it makes more sense if I sew this from the other side. I can't join, but I'll pretend I joined. Nice. Why can't you join? But also you don't have to. Don't feel pressure or anything. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a cat. Her name is Peppa, and I believe it's a bit too warm for her today, so she's probably hidden away somewhere. Though it's not as warm as yesterday, to be honest. It's actually okay. Sometimes she comes by in the streams. I can't have Discord, I'm too young for it. Oh, okay, yeah, that happens. I think Discord has also like raised the age or something. I love the stream, I will join everyone. By the way, I can't spell. Don't worry about it. And thank you. 3 cats and 1 dog. That's a lot. Yeah, I already feel like, you know, 1 cat is enough. Also, there's green thread in my sewing machine. That's not an option for what I'm trying to do right now. Have to switch to white. Sometimes I wish I could have like a second cat, just because I think mine might be a bit lonely, but she hates other animals, so no chance. What animal is your pet and what breed? Yeah, so I have a cat and she's an Angora Persian mix. So she's an insanely fluffy breed mixed with another insanely fluffy breed. And for some reason that fluffiness didn't even out, it multiplied. So she is insanely fluffy. She looks kind of fat. She's a pretty average weight cat. She's not overweight. She just looks like it because she's so fluffy. A bit like that unicorn from Despicable Me. The bald cat breed looks like a skinwalker, honestly. Do you like bald cats? I'd have to say I don't care that much about bald cats. I don't think I would get one because I do enjoy the fluffiness of a cat. Though I would also say I might not get, you know, a Persian Angora mix again, because she loses so much hair around the house. Like, my parents have 2 cats, 2 Persians, and for some reason my cat loses more hair around the house than these 2 Persians combined. I don't know how that works. That makes no sense. I think another thing with Persians is, you know, they can't breathe that well. It's okay with my cat because Angoras have pretty big noses, and that evened out pretty well, so she doesn't have like a heightened risk of nose or like eye infections. But still, I don't really want to contribute to that anymore, so probably never get like a Persian cat again. Maybe a mix, who knows. I have 4 cats and 5 dogs. They are crazy. That sounds crazy. That's a lot. I have a black cat. His hair goes everywhere. I can imagine that's also annoying. Like, the thing with a white cat too is that her hair is so visible on everything that's dark. I can't have any dark furniture pieces or clothing pieces because cat hair will be absolutely everywhere. So currently I'm wearing a black shirt, funnily enough, but I'm wearing a work shirt. I don't have any private black shirts because it's just impossible to keep clean. I joined the Discord. Why should I send my mask? There's a 3D section of the Discord, like Creative Corner and then 3D, and people post like their fursuits and stuff. You can put your mask there. What's your Discord? If you want to find my Discord, you can go on my website. And it's linked there. Found it. Very nice. My brush looks so sad. I literally drenched it in the paint. I mean, if you need to do that for a painting, then that happens. So I need to find my pattern pieces again, just to make sure everything lines up correctly. I'm painting an Arrow Frutica poster. I'm painting the grass first. Very nice. I have to say, I don't paint really. I draw sometimes, but mostly digitally. I miss the Frutica era. I mean, it was more fun, most definitely. I feel like the internet has become very stale, sterilized, uncolorful, kind of boring. Very sterile, yeah, very sterile. People aren't so baka and whimsical and joyful anymore. They're not. Everything's very serious. Companies and stuff said a lot of minimalism and it makes me sad. Yeah. Sometimes I look at old Macs. Do you know the iMacs that looked like candies, basically? They have them in every color. And I'm just like, why? Why is an iMac today so boring? Why can't I have a colorful iMac back? It would make me happy. And especially with like, Apple does colorful products, but never in the Pro line. As like someone who has a MacBook Pro, do not get a colorful device. The semi-transparent plastic was so good. It was. It's so iconic. Do you have time to look at my mascot later? No, I can have a look. It's very cool. It has a very cool vibe. I like it a lot. It reminds me of something. Like, that is a specific aesthetic, right? Your mask is... What aesthetic is that? It's not quite Scene Kid. going to stream on my FYP and was bored, but now I have my favorite fursuit maker. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. One of the streams I'm actually intrigued to watch in. Because something is happening. I guess. Where's my pattern piece? Here it is. Sent my mask on your Discord, by the way. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I gotta go. Okay. Guys, should I add floating fish in the air? Yes. Do that. That sounds fun. I hope I have time to join your next live. Yeah, I hope so too. But if not, there will always be another live. Hi, Melody. How are you doing? Hi, I'm back. Welcome back, Sony Dragons. I will go to your Discord right now, but if I have any more tabs open, my laptop would explode. Then please save your laptop. My Discord is, again, not super active. Can't wait to get my first suit I got from you at your friends in 2 weeks. Nice. How's the first suit holding up? Are you, like, good with it? Everything okay? Since I got you here? Sad said I have school tomorrow, so I probably will miss your live tomorrow if I go to live. If you will go live. No, tomorrow is Saturday, so I will not be live. It's perfect. Okay, good. You know, I realized how awkward it is that I ask you on live. Like, I don't want you to feel pressure to like praise it or something. But yeah, if something comes up, text me or something. If there's ever anything that's breaking. But if you're happy with it, I'm happy. Your suit was very nice to make. I love the hair. Would absolutely love to commission you in the future again. Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe. If you have another cool character. I'm done with the grass. Time to add the You've Got Mail tab. Very nice. How big is your painting? How much is a suit to make? How much are the materials? I should know that, but I don't. I'd say most of the materials are actually, you know, not that pricey. The fur is the huge, big chunk. Not that big, just large. I'm using an illustration board for painting. I don't know what an illustration board is, honestly. Dang, you're incredibly talented. Thank you. It's like cardboard, but it's similar to paper too. Okay. But I would assume it also exists in different sizes. But it's okay if my fursuit isn't with fur and with blankets. I mean, do what you want. It's your fursuit. You can have fun with it. My machine just hit a needle. Hi, Doma. How are you doing? I think you were here before. At some point. I don't know what to add next. Give me ideas for my painting. I'm not super knowledgeable about the aesthetic, so I can't help you, I think. So refreshing to chill chat, no stuff crazy. That happens when you hang out with like a smaller streamer. Chat is chill, stream is chill, everything's chill. Yesterday, a group like 10 kids looking like teenagers started throwing me with sticks because I wet my mask tail and dim a bit. Oh no. Yeah, teenagers are, you know, teenagers. Let's hope they grow out of it. That's the other thing, you can't be super mad at them because they're teenagers, and teenagers generally tend to be idiotic. And we have another steam train driving by that wanted to say hello. Hope their pillow is warm tonight and their back keeps itching. Hope they step in puddles with socks on. That's what teenagers deserve. I mean, at least those teenagers, not all teenagers. Train, ooh, yeah. I live next to a train station, or next to like railroad tracks. I mean, both. And when the windows are open, I can hear the trains. And they said that I'm ill, and that we're looking like 3 to 4 years more older, and I was scared. I ran in a park and it all helped me. I mean, it's good that you got help, but I don't know, maybe it's a bit safer if you don't go out alone with your theory and stuff. Do you have someone who could go with you? Just, you know, to be safe. Not gonna lie, bullying people for being Therian is an illness in itself. It is. I also don't get it. I have never understood the point of like bullying. You don't gain anything from it. I can't imagine that bullying someone else makes, you know, the bully feel better. What kind of asshole are you? Can't go with someone because I don't have a Therian friend or friends that want to go with me. That's a shame. Maybe you could, I don't know, go somewhere else where it's safer. Wait, no, the best thing is after they bully someone, they will always feel guilty and start to apologize, but that specific person won't forgive them and they will get more guilty. I think that is more so something that happens in movies. That's not reality. That's what annoys me with teenagers, because yeah, they're going through a lot and I get that. I was far from easy myself, but like being rude for what? It's not your life you're bothering here, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like honestly, I can't say much about that. I was the most uncomplicated teenager ever. I just sat in my room and watched anime all day. So like my parents were like, you just skipped puberty, you didn't go like through puberty, you were just nice. What's going on today with the trains? I like sometimes I hear one steam train a week. This is like number 4 today alone. There's a steampunk party going on, I guess. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this like specific train is like a historic one. So it belongs to a guy, and that guy sometimes drives around the train, but usually not that often in a day. Sounds like a fun guy, to be honest. I imagine, I don't know, it's funny because I don't know people, I don't know anyone, but my dad knows anyone. My dad is just like, oh yeah, I met this guy who owns that train, who drives around with that historic train. I'm like, what? How? And then I live next to like the ruins of a church, and my dad goes, oh yeah, I know the guy who has the keys so that we can go into the tower of that church. I was like, what? How? Imagine going on your little private train ride for funsies. That's what it is at this point. It used to be like, as far as I understand, it used to be a club that tried to keep this train alive, and then everyone left the club, and now it's just the guy. He said at some point he'll give up, and at some point, he'll get too old to do it, and then the train won't ever be driven anymore. But for now, it still exists. Outside at 40 degrees, and it's also raining. Oh no, that doesn't sound very nice. I have to say today it's like actually decently okay. It's 24 degrees, which is humane. Put that train into a museum at least. Let them get maintenance. I think he'll take care of it as long as he lives. He's also, just from what I've heard about him. It's just that at some point, he won't drive it around anymore. And then we'll see. Maybe like one of his relatives will take over. Imagine you inherit like a train. Here you go. You have a historic train. There's so many people outside my house. Oh my gosh. I've talked about it before today, but there's a Ren fair next to my house, and I think the people are already gathering for the Ren fair. So there's a lot going on. They're turning, like, there's a parking lot in front of my house, and as far as I know, they're turning that entire parking lot into a just disabled parking lot. And we'll have trouble leaving our house because we live behind that parking lot that is now closed for everyone who's not disabled. I wish to go to a Ren fair one day. I mean, do it. They're really fun. Though I have to say, if you've seen a really big Ren fair, you've kind of seen all Ren fairs. They're all pretty similar. Some have more stuff, some have less stuff. Same, it must be so whimsical. It's pretty whimsical, yeah. I mean, it also depends on the Ren fair. There's stuff like that's more LARP adjacent, which is much more magical, and then there's stuff which is basically just a few food stalls and a bit of music, and maybe like a flame breathing person running around, a pickle priest, stuff like that. So we'll see. Like, my main goal today for the Ren fair, which I will go to, is get some food. They make some really, really nice food, usually at Ren fairs. There's none in my area, I think. If yes, they're expensive. I don't want to go alone, but the only friends who go with me pull out historical costumes and will go their own way, because I don't have a costume. Maybe they can give you a costume, like, if they have multiple, they can just, you know, give you one for the day. That would be the nice thing to do, I feel like. But also, you don't need a costume for a Ren Fair. It really, like, depends. There's Ren Fairs where you should have one, and there's Ren Fairs where it doesn't matter. Also, just to say that, like, Ren Fairs aren't always expensive. It really depends. But also, I don't know about you, but here there's Ren Fairs kind of everywhere. Like, because they also do those as special events. Like, the city I live in has, like, an anniversary. And so they've decided to do a Ren Fair for that anniversary. And last year, the city next to my city had an anniversary. And so they did a Ren Fair for that. So oftentimes there's just like this random one-time event Ren Fair. Are you making the ears right now? Yes, these are the ears. The fur will be put over a 3D printed piece, and I haven't printed that yet. So I can't continue on the ears. Also, I'm kind of done for now, guys. Because I need to print the ears. There's nothing I could do right now. So I believe I should end the stream right now. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I was on a winter Comic Con once, and they had a mini Ren Fair on the roof. But I was with my mom, and she's not a Ren Fair person. That's a shame. Maybe at some point you'll have a chance to check it out. Bye. Have a nice day, weekend. Oh, bye. Have a good day. Thank you all very much. I wish you a very nice day / weekend too. And maybe I'll see you potentially on Tuesday.